Okay. So, hi YouTube, how are you all doing today? I know this is a little bit different for us guys, a little bit different. I know I normally stream on Twitch, and I'm having some issues accessing Twitch at the moment. So, yeah, we're streaming live to YouTube just for a little bit of fun. We're taking a little bit different, a little bit chilled, a little bit more relaxed. And yeah, we're just going to see how things go, truth be told. See how things go. So those of you that know, I am currently dog sitting for my mum. So I'm about two or 3 hours away from my home. And we are in wonderful Bourth at the minute. So I'm just going to swap the camera over here. Should be able to see beautiful area that I'm at the moment. Look at that. Isn't that bloody marvellous? Hi Night Fox, how you doing, brother? So yeah, we're here. Enjoying my time. Mrs. Scribble's just inside. She's watching a bit of Love Island on TV. And I am relaxing. This is one of my mum's... Sorry about that, guys. Lost internet connection there. That's Tally. Tally is one of my mum's whippets. She's got 2 whippets. And we're just out here on the front decking right now, relaxing. Are you doing Stormter? That's how we roll. So yeah, the idea was originally to stream to Twitch, guys. That was the idea. But apparently, bad idea. I'm trying to get this phone back pretty bad. Not access to my MFA. Sunlight, YouTube stream. What do you think? You know, enjoy a beer, a cold one. I'm officially on holiday. What's going on, Mol? Good to see you in the chat, dude. Now, I do have my GAC to do, but don't know if I could be asked. It's quite laggy, and that's a shame. It's probably because I'm outside. I might have to move inside, but I was really enjoying the nice view here. So if I have to move inside, I'll move inside. Quite laggy. I'm at Bourth. I'm at Bourth at the moment. Bourth, which is it's a seaside town right on the west of Wales, west coast of Wales, mid Wales. It's where I grew up. Lovely place. Better have made some damn cookies. Carth. My mum is a wonderful person. She doesn't make cookies. She made bread though. She made some lovely bread. That was delicious. But if you're saying that the signal here is too choppy, I can move inside. I'm just really enjoying, you know, having a beer and looking at all this. You know what I mean? That's what I did have my phone hooked up onto. But I mean, just look at this, guys. How good are the fish and chips there? Me and Mrs. Scribble just had fish and chips for our dinner just now. Absolutely delicious, guys. You let it slide this time? Good. Swigger Gameplay, you love my videos on Galactic Challenges. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. I'm glad I could help. Seems okay now? Maybe it's just me. Well, I am a little bit far away from the router, to be honest, guys. A little bit far away from the router. So, look at Tals. Tally Wells. So yeah, just enjoying my time. Mayo or ketchup? Gravy, my friend, gravy. It's fine for you? Curry sauce, vinegar? No, we had gravy. Truth be told, we didn't have fish and chips. We had chips and pie. I had a steak and kidney pie with mine. And Miss Scribble, she had cheese and potato. At the wonder of hair, apart from that which grows on the head. Milo! Where are we? Yeah, so we've got a little bit of a different one today. A little bit of a different one. We're just going to relax, have a chat, and just put the world to right. I'll move inside so that we can get better connection. bear with me, guys. Let's go. Come and see the inside of Mam's house. Of the morning, baby. Do 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 do. Whoa, ho, ho. So now we are inside my mum's house, inside the office that I was using earlier today. This is Mr. Tenzing. This is Mr. Tenzing. Bear with me. This is Mum's other dog. Oh, he's a good boy. He is a whippet. He is Tally's big brother. Isn't he a good boy? And there's the lovely view of the beach. Look at him. He's a sleepy boy. And you, Tenzin? You right, good boy? Ah. So. Quick, write what you're saying in the sand. Do I have obligatory bits of random driftwood? We got loads of wood. Mam uses a log burner here, so yeah, a log burner. Sorry to deprive you of the view, mate. Much better connection. No, quite all right, quite all right. The most important thing is that we can sit down here and have a nice chat, isn't it? That's the most important thing. I probably don't need these sunnies anymore because I'm inside. I'm not like Arnold, where gotta have sunglasses no matter what, right? So I'm loving life. I'm loving life. It's I find this place to be the most relaxing place on the planet. You know, I know everybody likes to go back to their mum's house. Well, I suppose not everybody likes to go back to their mum's house, but I have a very good relationship with my mum. And coming home to her house, even though she's away, because we're here looking after the doggos. Look at him. Oh, he's a good boy. You know, even though she's not here at the moment, just being in this house and being able to relax by the beach, the lovely weather, it's just, I feel the stress of the world just dropping off me. And I think everybody needs to have a place that they can do that, you know, because even when I'm at home and, you know, home is where the heart is and where you're comfortable and everything, you do feel that like the stresses of everyday life do tend to pile up on you just a little bit, especially because I work, you know, my 9 to 5, my office job in the same room that I then go to stream and I do my content creation in. It feels like there's no segregation there, no separation, you know? So being able to come out here, it's just lovely. It's just lovely. And this is my stepdad's chair. This here is my stepdad's chair. It's one of those Herman Miller Aeron chairs, and they're incredibly ergonomic and comfortable. Very, very comfortable. You get the same feeling when you're at your mum's, Night Fox? That's good, dude. Yeah, I think it's important, man. I think it's important. Yeah, you know, considering we don't stream to YouTube, I'm glad we got 10 concurrent viewers right now. I never stream to YouTube. I started off my live streaming career on YouTube, and I'm not sure why I made the move to Twitch. I think it was more for brand diversity, you know, to try and reach a new audience on Twitch, and it's worked out very well for me over the years. You know, I usually stream to what, like anywhere between 25 and nearly 100 people on Twitch on my streams, right? But I never used to get that sort of viewership on YouTube. I'd get, you know, maybe about 5 or 6. Hello, Tals. You going up, good girl? Go on, up. Up, Telly. Telly, up. Go on. Look at her. She's a good girl. Fast little whippets. Oh, there she goes. Good girl, Tals. Your dog is currently asleep on the rug in front of you. Mum's 3 are all in their beds. It's so peaceful and chill weather. Yeah, it's been lovely here. I mean, you can't really tell out there because that's just white, but it's been absolutely beautiful here. So you're live and want to stop and say hello. Work is about off, so I'm off. Hey, amazing. Well, thanks for stopping by, dude. I hope you have a safe travel home. So yeah, not the normal stream that we would do. You'll be back home from uni tomorrow, so looking forward to cuddles with the dogs again. Yeah, man, for real. It's nice, man. It's nice. Oh, we could also go and see the kittens, because obviously we brought our kittens with us. Smudgy kittens and indie kittens. Hello. Hello. Smudges. Indy. Come here. You cool with us? Smudge. You okay, good boy? Hello, Indy. What a good kittens. Indy Kits and Smudge. Come on. Come here. Oh, get him. He's a good boy. Oh. He's a very good little bear. Aren't you, Smudges? Oh, good boy. Yeah. 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 Gotta love him. Gotta love him. You coming up, Indy? Come in here. Does he enjoy the sea air? Well, he's been sat on the windowsill for most of it, sticking his head out the window, sniffing. What is he, Smudges? He keeps on trying to rub up against the phone. Look at him. There's his bum. Smudge. Well, he loves you guys. He's clearly loving you guys because he's giving the phone lots of love right now. Good boy, Smudgy. Yeah, you too, dude. Good night, man. Good night. So, yeah, I'm not sure. If I boot up Swigger now, I don't know what YouTube's going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. Let me see what happens. No filter. Well, obviously I'm not going to put a filter on. If I close this, I mean, I know I'm live. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually able to just stream content. Let's see. It keeps on trying to add a filter to the channel now. But hey ho. We might just have to chill here and chat. They actually established respiratory hospital in Ventnor in the Victorian era precisely because the air was so good. Oh. The question, do you want to is the question. Do I want to boot up Swigger? Not really, to be honest, guys. I'm actually very happy to just relax. Like, there's no way I win my first round of GAC. The guy, like, one-shot the entire board, and I set a stern defense. He just, like, fucking tore through it with really good banners. I was like, oh, shit, okay. That's all my good GLs and my good Datacrons. And he's still got pretty tough defense, so I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care. So, yeah. Not yet. How much time have I got before it closes? How much time is left on GAC? Because I haven't done anything yet. Nothing at all. I haven't touched it. 1 hour and 40 minutes? Okay. Yeah, so I've got some time. Thank you, guys. I've left my beer in the other room. Let's go and go back into that office, I think. Go back into the office. Just walking around Mam's house. There's the computer setup that I was using earlier today. This is my stepdad's office where he works from. And I just had my work laptop there. I'm going to put my feet up here and just chat with you guys. Don't lick my toes. Look. Tally was just licking my toes. How long am I sticking around for? I don't know. I just thought we'd see how the conversation goes. Just have a nice chat. Chat with the tribe on YouTube. And see what you guys want to talk about. I've heard that the Rex marquee is live at the moment. And it's actually horrendous. I've heard that it's awful, not enjoyable in the slightest. I haven't touched it yet because I've been enjoying life. Am I staying at the beach over the weekend? I'm here for a week. I'm here till Wednesday. So we came down yesterday. Lots of armor shredding. Oosh. You hit auto on both tiers and it was done in 1 to 2 minutes? Oh, okay. So it's fine. There are 3 tiers, aren't there? Isn't it 3 tiers? Planning on getting up to much? Well, we're here to look after the dogs, really. I'm taking my dad out to a carvery on Sunday because I wasn't here for Father's Day, but that's his sort of Father's Day treat, taking him out, my stepmom, and my 2 younger brothers, and Mrs. Scribble is obviously coming as well. So we're taking them to a nice place for a Sunday roast. We've got Mrs. Scribble's best friend visiting from Manchester tomorrow with her kids and her husband. So they're staying with us for two nights. So we're just going to relax, really. It's going to be good. Tier 3 is Legacy, 2 tiers for unlock. Does the Legacy tier need a 5-star Rex? Hi Sop, welcome to the channel, buddy. How you doing? Whoa. Why am I zoomed in? You can tell I don't normally stream from my phone, right? So you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good, mate. Got to find some good walks for the dogs then. Oh, I know all the walks around here, mate. There's loads of really nice walks around here. I did grow up here, so yeah, we took the dogs out around Anislas just before starting the stream. Nice walk along the sand dunes there. Beautiful. They love it. Go out for a run. The dogs do. They're whippets, so they're like little greyhounds. They sprint. Super, super fast dogs. And you, Mr. Zingaling, you're a fast boy. Fast boy. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You grew up? Yeah, there was a time when I had hair. I know it's hard to believe, but there was a time when I had hair. There's probably a photo of me as a child somewhere in this house. Somewhere. We could probably find one. In fact, let's have a look. So this over here, hang on. On the right there, that's my mam. And that's her husband, my stepdad. That's quite an old photo now. That's probably about 20 years old. That was their wedding day. Yeah. Back over to my ugly mug. Let's go exploring, shall we? Actually, this room over here, I think this room, yeah, just down there, you can see some Harry Potter books. Those were the Harry Potter books that I read when I was growing up. Those were my Harry Potter books. Let's have a look. Smudge, get in. In. Naughty boy. Let's see. Having a look to see if I know Smudges. If there's a photo of me as a child here. There isn't at the moment, I don't think. Although, given their whippets, might just be finding a beach for them to go mental for 10 minutes. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, unfortunately, they're not allowed on the beach, the normal beach in Borth in summertime. They're allowed out on Anislas, but not on the beach in Borth. Oh, hold up. Hold up. I found one. We found one, guys. So, here's young Scribble. Is Smudge going to make a cameo? He's right here. Yeah, Smudge and Indy. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, Smudge. Hey, what's going on, Shapitsky? Harry Potter versus Percy Jackson, though. Harry Potter, easily. So, here's a photo, guys. Here's me and my family. That one there in the middle is me. That's my brothers and my sister and my mum and my stepdad. So yeah, it was a chime when I was a child. Can't get the camera to focus on it properly, but there we go. I was a child once upon a time. Once upon a wishing star. Where did I put my beer? That's the more important question. Ah, there it is. Let's go hunting for more, shall we? Edge Chronicles better than Harry Potter? Edge Chronicles? I don't think I read Edge Chronicles. Smudgy, you're not going out, mate. You're just going to get scared by the dogs, aren't you? Stay there. Stay. Allow us to continue our search. Well, none in here. This is where my mum does her content creation. So my mum, those of you that don't know, is a fitness instructor. She's been a fitness instructor for about 40 years. And she runs her own online fitness channel, essentially. She does stuff on the menopause, stuff on Pilates, all sorts. So that everywhere in this house, there is fitness equipment. Everything in here has got fitness equipment. Or, if we were to go over here, we've got more fitness equipment. And that, you see that? She got a big box light there for when she does her streaming. You'd love to stay and chat, but you've got an English exam tomorrow. Hey, Shabitsky, make sure you study for that English exam, buddy. Hey, Essex. The Rex's event is either easy or done in a couple of minutes, or takes much longer if you get really late start. Barbell cameo, do a workout stream. How much weight is on this barbell right now? I don't think it's loads. Bear with me. Hold on. Let's go over here and turn on the light. Here's some 5 kg dumbbells. This over here, this barbell probably weighs between 7.5 kilos and 10. And we've got a 10 kg and a 5 kg. And I don't know what that one in the middle is. Not sure what the one in the middle is. Presumably 2.5. So what's that, 17 and a half? 17 and a half times 2, 35, plus maybe 10 for the bar. 45 kilograms. Not massively heavy, but not light either. I'm sure I could do some workout with that. Oh, shit. Maybe don't try and lift it with one arm. Could probably do bent over rows, deadlifts. Barbell curls is probably asking a little bit much of 45 kilo for your boy Scribble, who doesn't really work out anymore. Does Mrs. Scribble have something to say about your push-up technique? Yeah, she thinks it's fantastic. It's phenomenal. The best push-up technique she's ever seen. Bar none. At least I think. I think that's what she says. The real problem, guys, is I keep putting down my beer, and I don't know where. Ah, over here. Yeah, sleep it off. Sleep it off, Shapitsky. You can't see without... You can't leave without seeing me work out. You don't want to see me work out. I've got nothing to rest the phone with. I left it downstairs. If I go and grab the... I can grab the phone clip that my mum uses. If I grab that, we can position it and I can do some curls or something. I don't know. Hello, Milo man. Little yog. Bear with. Close that down. Bring all this stuff inside. Do. Back upstairs. Alright. Put that there. Put that there. Let's see if I can fit this phone inside here. Hands-free, man. Hands-free. Mrs. Scribble seems to think I do push-ups like someone from Kent. At least that's what she mutters when she walks past. Yeah, Kent. Indeed. What's going on, Lucas? How you doing today? Do you plan on going surfing whilst I'm there? Wasn't planning on it. No. I used to surf many, many years ago. But Larry wanted to see me do some sort of workout. So I guess we could do some barbell curls or something. Because why do anything but your standard barbell curl, eh? Easy money. Larry is MIA. Sorry, Shapitsky. I thought he was KIA, not MIA. This will get heavy in a sec. There's not much on this one. There's what? 10, 15, probably about, I don't know, 20 kilos in total on that. Found evidence he survived. Still looking. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, man. You said he was gone. You said he was gone, done and dusted. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Must be a place I can plug that ring light into, but I doubt it really does anything useful. So yeah. Now you can rest peacefully. Yes, I'm glad I could help. Glad I could help with you resting peacefully. Hoorah! 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 Easy money. You afraid? I myself am allergic to physical exercise. Have a good time, tribe. Hey, peace out, Shapitsky. Big love, dude. Got to do the Tuscan chant. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I get it. This ain't no gaffy stick, but yeah. Scorching hot outside. Yeah, it's been warm here. It's been very warm here. But it's cooling off now because it's nighttime. So, yeah. So what's everybody doing this evening then, guys? What are we all doing tonight? Favorite beachside activities? Drinking cocktails. Definitely drinking cocktails. That's what I like to do at the beach. I'll be honest, Ravage, I get very bored at the beach. I hate just sitting down in the sun doing nothing. So I need to have something to stimulate me. And I love to drink, you all know that. So drinking beer on the beach makes it bearable. Having cocktails, even better. Having food, great. You know, I could listen to an audiobook or I could listen to music, but I tend to just get bored and think it's a waste of time. So it's got to be late where I'm at. Yeah, I think it's about 8 o'clock now. Something like that, or 8:30. Playing PS5 in a bit, either Final Fantasy or D4. Nice one, dude. Yeah, I can't do any of that, unfortunately. I wish I could. I have them both, but I didn't bring my console or my PC with me, obviously, because that would be fucking weird. Plus, Mrs. Scribble would kill me. Whoa. Nice to do some workout there. Exercised in ages. Ooh, burning. Your favourite thing is to head down to the beach at night with a pair of headphones, watch the moon in the water? That does sound very relaxing. Like the decking I was on earlier. Absolutely love being able to just sit out there, nighttime, fire is on, get yourself a beer, listen to the waves. Bliss, absolute bliss. FF16? I've got it, I pre-ordered it, but I don't have my PlayStation at the moment, so if you're talking about Night Fox, yeah, he's definitely going to be playing FF16. Drink Prime. No, I prefer beer. Beer is the prime drink of choice. Double trouble. You've been hesitant to buy it, but you're hearing good things. I've stayed away from everything. I've not looked at anything about the game. But content creation is my game. It's what I do. I'm a content creator. And Final Fantasy was one of my very first gaming loves. So I used money that I've earned through streaming, through content creation, to buy games that I can then cover. Brilliant. Demo was fantastic. Can't wait to dive in. Sick. You've been loading up on your summer reading. I did a bit of reading today, but it was about enterprise risk management rather than reading for pleasure, as it were. But I do find it interesting. Unfortunately, it was a little bit entry level, a little bit surface level, so didn't get much from it. But it did reaffirm that I'm not an entry level ERM guy. So, what better way to work out than supersetting with beer? Good stuff. Good stuff. Just shoved your pile on Discord. Your pile of reading materials? Cool. I can't easily access that at the moment just because I'm streaming on YouTube on my phone, which is, I think it's a first for me. Might be a first. You just need to say, I'm too sexy for this shirt. I'm too sexy for this shirt. Too sexy for this shirt. So sexy it hurts. You're right. I like it. Some of it for fun, some for revision for next year's courses. Fucking hell, Ravage. Fucking hell, mate. That's a bit keen, isn't it? Not even finished this year and you're already studying for next year? I bet you get good grades then. I never had that kind of discipline or mental capacity. So, unfortunately, your boy's scribble was never, what would you call it? Conventionally, educationally gifted. Wasn't my forte. Isn't my forte to this day. I'm not saying I'm stupid, but exams and studying just isn't. Never works for me. Doesn't. My brain doesn't work that way. I learn by doing. That's how I learn, unfortunately. I find it very difficult to consume knowledge by reading. I need to physically do the activity to get an idea of how it fits in a real world scenario. Otherwise, it just goes straight through me. Can't believe you shaved right before your great bearded Rex. I know, right? I fucked up. I wish I could grow a nice, big, white Father Christmas beard. That's what I need. I think I'd look pretty terrifying. It's more that work in Oxford's so condensed you sort of have to. Fair enough. Terms are only 8 weeks and each with at least 2 essays with all the reading. Yeah, that's... I would crash and burn. You can wear and stick-on beard. I could, Ray Ray. You're absolutely right. Maybe I should get myself a stick-on beard. Could I just have a spray-on beard? Is that a thing? Like in a can, just spray it on my face? It could happen. Hello, Charles. You okay, good girl? Oh, she's a good girl. Let's get a couple more reps in, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hoorah! Nailed it, guys. Nailed it. What were my subjects in 6th form and uni? 6th form, I did... Sorry, there's a bit of sellotape on the floor. Need to tear off the carpet. Sixth form, I studied English and drama, and university I did English. Not literature. I did English as a whole subject, essentially, which involved all sorts of things from, yes, literature, creative writing, sociology, linguistics, iconography, all sorts of things, really. It's quite interesting. Not a fan of the shirt, though. I told you that low-cut V-neck. Yeah, I prefer the tash as well, my friend. I prefer the tash. I'll be growing back, don't you worry. The low V-neck. Yeah. You applied the Captain Rex Sator in a daze. Hell yeah, buddy. What was that like? I really enjoyed sociology. Sociology as a subject is incredibly interesting. You know, about why we are the way we are as humans, why we interact in the ways that we do. You know, how we form relationships, how our bodies talk to each other, how we form groups as a society, why we do it, and what that means when, you know, there's all us versus them scenarios. Very interesting subject. It's an ology. You're a scientist. Eventually. Finally, something my mother can be proud of. No, my sister's a scientist. You do that a bit of the all three of PP and E. Is it falsifiable there? Is what falsifiable? Not sure. You're talking about a subject that I did 15 years ago. Sociology? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. Cables. Cables. Da, ba, ba, da, ba. Oh, you can have a look at the back garden out there. Nice little back garden. See the little garden shed? Big thing in the philosophy of science. Okay. What foreign language did I study at school? So when I was in GCSEs, I was able to learn French. The people in my school year either learned French or German. You got automatically allocated a language. You didn't get to choose. And they're like, congratulations, you are learning French. So I did French for a couple of years, 3 years maybe. And I really enjoyed French. It's a very interesting language. It's nice. Sounds quite nice to speak as well. Wasn't the hardest language in the world to learn. I can't say that I remember any of it now. But I remember being okay. I think I got a B in it in GCSE. Are you, Matthew? Ah, ça va. Ça va. Je m'appelle Scribble. Language teaching in the UK is notoriously awful, though. Yes, it is. It is. I can't remember any French. Je voudrais une bière. Ooh la la. J'habite in Pays de Galles. That's about it. I genuinely can't remember any French that I learned. Je ne comprends pas would be the most the most commonly used phrase that I would say. Didn't have to take it for GCSE though if we didn't want to. So you dropped Spanish after 2 years to focus on other subjects. That's fair, Night Fox. You wanted to prove with 100% certainty that all swans are white. How could you do that? You can't. It's impossible. You can never prove something entirely 100%. Surely not. Do I speak any Welsh? Yes, Umar. I am fluent in Welsh. Hey, Eb. How you doing, buddy? Your Irish education did not leave you with great French either. Not surprising, my friend. Je voudrais une bière. That's the only French you need to know. Si. Y un autre. No, hang on. I'm going fucking Spanish now. Apologies. Un otro. Uno más. Por favor. How could you disprove it? The only way you could disprove if all swans in the world were white is to gather every single swan on the planet, which is no way provable, right? Because how would you know you have every swan on the planet? And then you'd have to look to see if they're all white. Or, alternatively, you could kill every swan on the planet, leave one alive, and you'd be like, definitely fucking white. Oh, how could you disprove that all swans are white? Have yourself a black swan. Or a grey swan, or a green swan, or a blue swan, or a multicoloured swan. Pride month, right? Pride swan. There's a whole play about not white swans. Is there really? Surprisingly relaxing. Just sat here chatting with you guys. I've not really tried to do it. Just chat and stream properly before. If you sent a white swan to the moon and blew up the planet Earth, you still couldn't prove that there are no swans elsewhere in the universe. You never know. Maybe there are. Bucket of paint and a swan. Problem solved. I don't think the swan would appreciate it though, Kevin. That's the key idea around falsification. It's almost impossible to prove something, but super easy to disprove it. Something went wrong. Try again. Are we still live? I'm not even sure. Yeah, that's fair, Ravage. Very difficult to prove something with certainty. I mean, you can do it with certain things, right? Something that's entirely verifiable, right? Surely, like 2 + 2, you know that's 4, right? According to your favorite philosopher, Karl Popper, science is thus the process of continuously attempting to disprove things. Do you? Under current convention of mathematics, one would assume that, yeah, 2 + 2 is 2. I get the idea that you can't necessarily unequivocally prove it, but I think we're breaking it down into semantics now. Swans appreciate nothing. Angry, beautiful things. It always reminds me of Hot Fuzz, right? No luck catching them swans yet. We base our mathematical decision on certain assumptions. Reasonable assumptions, I would say. Like the reasonable assumption that I'm going to have another beer because this one's empty. 2 + 2 has premises, though. It's falsifiable under the right conditions. Really? What would be the right conditions? Because if it was like 1.9999998 + 2, that's clearly not 4. But then we're not talking about 2 + 2. You had to write an essay on it yesterday. Fair? Interesting. I'm definitely out of beer, guys. Do you want to come with me to the fridge? Let's go. We can't normally do this when we stream. Let's go have a walk through the house to the fridge. Come follow me, come follow me. Come over here. You can say, hi, Mrs. Scribble.
Hi.
Watching some TV?
Yes.
Do you want a drink? All right. Let's go this way. Let's not trip and die. For example, we think space expands. For example, we think space expands, that is, the metric of distance is not uniform across vast distances. Can she get me to wear a low V-neck? I don't have a low V-neck. Unfortunately not. This is the kitchen with Mama Scribble's lovely stove. More importantly, this is where we keep the alcohol. This is also another bit of alcohol that my mammy bought for me. A bit of monkey shoulder. Lovely. Bit of blended Scotch whiskey. But we are more interested in the beer right now. William misses his top then. I don't think she's got any low-cut V-neck tops. Hey, Tails. So yeah, here we are in the kitchen, just chilling like a villain. Is this chair the wrong way around? It's got an ass groove. It's got an ass groove, specifically for where your cheeks should sit. Bring this over here. Turn this so we're actually looking at me. So yeah, I'll be honest, Ray, I don't understand that concept that you were talking about, that Ravage is questioning you on. We think space expands, that is. The metric of distance is not uniform across vast distances. Space expands. Metrics change to accommodate for that. But isn't a mile and a kilometre, no matter how vast the distance? Your physics knowledge consists of GCSE plus whatever my physics friends tell me. My physics knowledge, I didn't take it. Oh, I did it at GCSEs, yeah, but again, I'm 35 years old now, so that's half a lifetime ago for me. Not something you can explain on a Scribble Live YouTube stream chat. That's fair, Ray. I appreciate you taking the time to explain it. I'll take your word as right, but I won't pretend to understand it. Because I don't understand it, I'll be honest. But I'm not a physician. Physicist. Physician and physicist are very different things. I'm not a mathematician. I'm a risk guy. Maths, chemistry, biology, and politics. They did politics at A-level? I don't think they did it when I was growing up. But I certainly wouldn't have taken it anyway. I despise politics. Space expansion. 1 meter here is not the same as 1 meter very, very far away, although both are measurably 1 meter local to their own space-time volume. That makes no sense. I'll be honest, that makes no fucking sense to me. Surely a meter is a meter, right? Philosophy, politics, and economics now. You did business studies. I don't think we had politics as an option. I did business at GCSE. I really enjoyed it, actually. Got a B in that as well. But I'm pretty certain it wasn't even a subject matter in A-level. Is this where things get quantum? Yeah, that happens in Ant-Man. Clearly. The content of politics is actually quite interesting. I mean, I touched on a bit of politics when I was doing my sociology course. Touched on it a little bit there. But that was more around sentence structure, body language, intonation of voice, and how you portray yourself, and even the cadence of speech. So you can see it very clearly in politicians of this day and age, particularly when I was growing up, in particular, in the UK. We had a Mr. Tony Blair was the Prime Minister. Okay, he was a Labour Prime Minister, I want to say. Like I said, I hate politics, so stay away from it like the plague. But Tony Blair had a very particular way of constructing his sentences and would pause at certain sentences. So he would always talk like this and put the point across with very deliberate pauses in his conversation to allow you to ruminate about the words that I use. That would be the sort of thing that he would do, right? So we would study why he would speak in this cadence, what hand signals that he would use, like expand, help, grow, this sort of thing. It's all formulated when politicians speak, down from, the very words that they say, down to, how they're articulating, the intonation. Do I have a favorite PM? I don't. I told you I hate politics and I hate politicians. I think they're all fucking self-centered bastards. I'm not allowed to swear on YouTube. Yeah, I'm just not I cannot separate, when it comes to politics, I cannot separate a politician from his own ambitions and desires and his own agenda from the fact that they are supposed to be representatives of their constituents and they're supposed to be there to help people. And I do not believe, hand on heart, I do not believe that there is a single politician on the planet that truthfully is acting selflessly. I think they are all in it for their own agenda and for their own well-being. And for that reason alone, I do not trust a single one of them. I just don't. And I know that's an incredibly closed-minded approach to have. I'm aware of it. It is a very, very cognizant bias that I have, but I just hate all of them. I just do. You can absolutely disagree. I'm 100% certain that I'm wrong, but I cannot get rid of that dissonance in my head. I can't separate it. Hey, Lucy and Frankie. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate it. I've got no interest in running as a politician. Say what you will about Corbyn, but I don't think you could describe him as power hungry. I didn't say power hungry. I said in it for their own agenda. Right? I don't know Corbyn's own drives. I have not looked at what he stands for. I've seen things about him. I've seen that he has fought against things. And as far as politicians go, I found it hard to dislike him, but I haven't looked into it because I don't, like I said, I don't like politicians. I don't like politics. As a subject, I find it reprehensible, and I find how you can never get a straight answer out of a politician because they're all too worried about public image and optics. Right? They're far too concerned about how things are perceived and worried about the image of their standing or their party standing with whatever they say in a public forum, that they get all of their character gets stripped away. So you can't really tell ever if they're acting in their own interests. Not in my experience anyway. You take a look at people like Nigel Farage when they asked him about, when is this money going to the NHS? The whole 350 million euros that we spend on being in the EU. And when they asked him, could he give a straight answer? No, he couldn't. He ummed and ahed around it for minutes because he didn't want to just be upfront and say, I had no intention of using that money. That was just a hook to try and get people to vote for us. Because that's what it was, right? He was dangling this bait of like, look at all this money that we could give to the NHS that none of it's gone to the NHS. He was doing it because he wanted to initiate Brexit. He wanted to get Britain out of the EU. Yeah. That happened, and he's not going to follow up on his part of it. And he's going to pretend like that's not something he ever promised. It's stuff like that. You can never get a straight answer out of a politician. Shaving scribbles is scary. Hey, fellow, how you doing, buddy? That's more of the nature of the society we live in, the pressures it has on the individuals rather than politicians being selfish. Everyone is. Society makes it so. Ray, you're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. But these are people in particular that are supposed to be fighting for the general public. Right? That's the whole remit of their job description. Right? They are there. They are fighting to be put in power for the betterment of society. And the very actions that they undertake in order to keep their jobs and live rather luxurious lifestyles off of the back of the taxpayer is, in my opinion, just reprehensible. Because they don't do it for the sake of their constituents. They don't do it for the public people, the people that give them their money, the people that put them in power, that maintain that power. Instead, they do it to just make sure that they can keep their cushy homes and they can, write off a bunch of expenses as part of operating in their roles. Depends on where you look. Some media outlets are like that. The BBC is all right at being impartial, even though that isn't great. I agree, but it gives a terrible impression of how politics works. I get what you're saying about politicians' personal agenda. What are your thoughts on Mark Drakeford? He's Welsh politician, right? MP. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't actually follow politics, guys. I don't. That's how we got on this subject in the first place. I don't follow politics. I don't know people's personal agendas. I just don't trust them. And like I said, I'm very much aware that that is a bias that I have. I'm aware of it, and I don't have a desire to change it because I just don't. I don't. I find it very whenever I'm greeted with that scenario of a politician being interviewed, I just get reminded of it again and again, how they'll just dance around a question, very blatantly dance around a question, not answer the actual question, or they'll answer it back with another question, or they'll answer it back with a hedging of the question. They'll never give you a straight answer as to, what's your plans? Well, what we would like to do is such and such and such. We would hope that such and such. Me too, Nightfox. There's a lot more to politics than politicians. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. Yeah. Would you follow a policy relating to insurance? Of course. There's loads of policies where I work. What are your thoughts? Read something like the Financial Times and you'll get a much better idea of what politics are like. It's a fair enough argument. I guess I should reframe my sentence then. I don't like politicians. In particular, politicians relating to the government in the UK. So let's hopefully not get cancelled for my opinions on politicians. That's more fair, you'd say. Okay, cool. I'm glad we can agree. Bless you. Mrs. Scribble just going upstairs. Independent of politicians, though, would you say I am more left or right wing? I'm not sure. What would you describe me as? I think the term would be more liberal, I guess. Is that more left leaning? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never taken the time to think about it or even be aware of what the connotations are with left and right. I don't particularly like labels in general, because being labelled gives people an opportunity. It goes back to this idea of sociology and how we work as a society. Belonging to one group, it almost excludes you from belonging to another group. You'll never make everybody happy. You're always going to be somebody's enemy, and I don't like being people's enemy. Next day, Scribbles is getting cancelled. Yeah, fellow. No idea. We've yet to discuss tax and state size on stream. There's very good reason for that, Ravage. I don't think people are going to turn up for a talk on tax. Without some form of labels, we'd have no language. Well, I think there's no way to not have labels. What my stance is more around not overtly giving myself labels, because again, that opens me up to adversity. Me as a person, as an individual, I do not like conflict. I don't like people telling me they don't like me. I don't like people telling me they don't like my choices. This is why when I was growing up, I didn't like talking about favorite movies, music genres, because there's always somebody out there that's like, fucking, I hate that kind of music. You like rap, or you like rock, or you like 80s, or you don't like pop, or you like pop, or you like Pink, or you know, whatever like that. There's a lot of animosity over around something that is just a taste. You see it in football fans. Liverpool fans hate Manchester United fans, or Man City fans, or Chelsea fans, or Arsenal fans, and it's completely inane, because you're all just fans of football, you're fans of a sport. But saying you are a supporter of a particular club opens you up to a lot of unwarranted animosity, because they're like, such and such fans are all thugs, such and such fans are all pedophiles, I don't know. But, you know, it's just like, I find it very alienating to try and align myself with anything like that, because you just get abuse hurled at you for no reason. In my opinion, no reason. I don't know if this is the right place to ask, but I'm trying to get Red Crate, and I don't have a single Amplify Agony disc. How can you beat the Rave Feats in Sector 5? Do you have Trench? Y9? 905? You're absolutely, like, I'm a Swigger content creator. You can ask me anything about Swigger. Don't worry about that. We're just taking a different approach today. We're just having casual live stream, my friend. Just having a chat. But yes, absolutely. Let me know. Do you have Trench? Do you have Zealous Ambitions? Anything like that? You've got Trench. Full team is above R5. Now, I was able to have success with my Trench squad, but I believe I had Amplify Agony data discs to help that out. If you've got stuff like Zealous Ambitions, if you've got stuff like volatile accelerator and that sort of thing. If you've got anything that will add to your max health, that all helps. People who like versus people who hate a certain movie. Oh, Boba Fett, like, you're living example of it, mate. Sequels versus prequels. Come on in, Mrs. Scribbles. Hello, we're just chilling, having a chat in the kitchen. Any towels? I think she's hungry, babes. Have they had their dinner? Yeah, but she didn't have you must have something about the meat, didn't she? Not meat, but not have that. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it after my stream. I'm not going to be on for much longer now. I'm going to outside. Yeah. We can chill out there on thingy with the fire on later. Yes. Oh, it'll be good. Yes. So let's have a look. And play that Star Wars. People, yeah, exactly, Boma. Or I feel like stirring when I'm in a group and I say, I don't know who's the best team to support, and then watch the fireworks. Oh, and I'd like that. Those sort of situations make me incredibly uncomfortable. And I know that a lot of this stems from my own, psychological issues from childhood and stuff like that. But conflict is something that I really don't like. It makes me very uncomfortable. So I'm very much more of a people pleaser kind of an individual, rather than somebody that stirs up hate. And I can't, like, for example, Mrs. Scribble likes watching, reality TV show, particularly like Love Island type stuff, Married at First Sight, this sort of thing. Which these shows are designed to cause controversy. They throw people with very out there personalities, and they are encouraged to be argumentative and competitive and backstabbing and stuff like that. And I literally get real bad anxiety watching it. I have to go into another room. I can't watch it because it makes me I feel sick. Like, I can't. So I don't like, if given any opportunity, I do not like to stir the pot. I hate it. Very toxic indeed, Bummer. Scribble, I took a picture of that tree outside your window and reconstructed it with an AI tool and searched for Google pictures of it. It says it's in Hertfordshire, UK. Are you right? No, Ray. Not even close, mate. I mean, it's in the UK, but yeah, that's not where I am. No. I'll quite happily tell you where I am. I'm sure I could take you out the front and you can have a view of the beach. And if you Google image search that or put that through AI, it would probably give you a good location. Real football fans shouldn't go beyond banter. I understand banter, Patrick. Absolutely. Or, sorry, Fallow. I understand a bit of banter in sports. There's always a bit of banter. But it's like, I find it very hard when you can't disassociate that. You can't tell the difference between when somebody's bantering or somebody has a genuine aggression, right? Have I ever seen Mitchell and Webb's sketch on The Apprentice? I haven't, actually. I know who they are, but I haven't watched them. I don't support football. I don't follow football. My family are from Manchester, so most of my family support United. I have one uncle and one cousin that are City supporters, and Mrs. Scribble and her family are City supporters. But I'm not interested in football. Rugby, I like rugby, but only on an international level. Night Fox knows. Beach, Brighton. Do you know Wren? No, not Brighton. Sure, I'll give you guys another view at the front, so that you have something to try and Google search me. Try and find where I am, okay? Based on the picture at the front. All right. Bearing in mind, this is my mother's house, so don't try and find me here. So here we go. I'll get it away from there. So there you go, guys. There is a picture for you to Google search. Thank you, Smurf. It is lovely here. All right. So there's the coastline that you get to see. Yeah, it is slowly getting dark. And there's Mrs. Scribble. And we've got a little fire there that we're going to light. And we're going to sit there in the fire, and we're going to stay out here in the night, chatting and drinking and enjoying. Thank you, Nathan. It is beautiful here. All right, we'll come back inside so that the internet doesn't drop. So yeah, if somebody gets it right, I'll let you know. Drinking is always good. It is, Bazinga, I agree. That's the effect of the camera when you're inside looking from a distance. Yeah, it's the camera trying to adjust for all the light exposure, and it's doing a bad job. Morva both. Hey, Umar, you're good, mate. You're good. See, isn't technology wonderful? Isn't technology wonderful? It's very quick to find a location with a nice image like that. So yeah, that is where I currently am. I'm in Both in West Wales. This is the town that I grew up in. Interestingly enough, people were asking me earlier if I spoke Welsh, and yes I do. So the word both comes from the word porth. Porth comes from the English word port. Not the wine, not the fortified wine, but the port is in a seaport. So, translated into Welsh, it becomes porth, but when you use the, because it used to be borth, the word translates, it mutates. The P becomes a B, a borth, so the port. Technology is wonderful until you get locked out of everything. I know, right, Bazinga? Tell me about it. Carmarthen Bay. It is the Bay of Carmarthen. Cardigan Bay. Any interesting attractions nearby? I mean, there is Gorsborchno. So there is a what would you call it? It's kind of like a mire nearby, just over there. That is protected. It is a protected environment because it is like a biosphere full of unique creatures. So that is a protected area to make sure that the ecosystem prevails. There's also the estuary. The estuary up in Ynys, that's also a protected area as well. Can you pronounce the whole name of Llanfair? Yes, I can, Efnath. Come to Hampshire in the Isle of Wight. Loads to see here. Oh, I'm sorry, Nathan, did I miss some of your conversation there? No, I didn't. Okay. Can't believe Google search found it off a screenshot. Google search is incredible, man. Technology. Stayed at Talabont. Yeah, Talabont is like 2 miles away. It's very close. That's where my mum grew up, actually, Talabont. Oh, thank you very much, Ravage. I've never been to the Isle of Wight. I might have been to Hampshire. I'm not sure. But it's interesting that you had a chemistry trip there, Dexter. Do you live in Wales, or did you come from further afield? I mean, because this is Midwest Wales. You're quite deep into Wales if you come to Corsborchno. Southampton, Portsmouth, and Winchester all have loads of history. Ah, very good. I'm trying to think. In Aberystwyth town, which is where I went to school, where my dad lived when I was growing up, there's the National Library of Wales. There's the Aberystwyth Castle. It's quite nice. And there's the University of Aberystwyth, where my mum worked for many years. My dad still works. My stepdad still works. My stepfather is one of the chief glaciologists on the planet. One of the most influential glaciologists on the planet. And what did he get? An MBE a couple of years back. No, not an MBE, sorry. He got a polar medal. given to him by then Prince Charles, now King of England. It was an interesting museum in Southampton, all about flying boats. Did I ever play rugby? Yes, I did, Evna. Not here. I played in Gibraltar. I did a bunch of touch rugby there, but I also played for one of the local club teams for a year as a winger. Great fun. Loved it. Loved it. If the Welsh amassed an army like Rohan, and you were the king, what would the war cry be in Welsh? Probably Cymru am byth. Cymru am byth is a common refrain, as it were. It means Wales forever. C-Rex are finally done. Congratulations, buddy. Your school was near Watford, but we had a field centre there in the old school. No way. Visited the slate mines, alternative technology centre. Festydni og Railway. Yeah, that's all nearby, actually. All nearby. I say nearby. Relatively speaking, nearby. Instead of horses, though, they'd be riding on sheep. Yes, wild sheep. The wild sheep. Absolutely. No, quite all right, Ravage. I've had far worse suggested. I mean, I'd be pretty terrified of a Celtic army atop wild sheep bleating at you in the distance. Bleating for your blood. A Mawhid? Oh, fantastic. The Welsh folk songs have a way of touching you. And a Mawhid probably has to be, like, at least for me, one of the most emotional Welsh songs. Like, I've tried singing it on a couple of occasions and my throat gets cool. I'm like, Jesus. Rynnu yma o hyd, rynnu yma o hyd, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, rynnu yma o hyd. It's beautiful. Petition to have the dragon on the flag be changed to being ridden by a sheep. So, well, hang on. Have a sheep riding the dragon, not the dragon riding a sheep. I mean, both sounds pretty ridiculous, truth be told. Can you have it in the background? Alexa, play a Mawhid.
Here's a Mawhid by our Logan David on Amazon Music.
You'll have to let me know if you can hear it. All right, good night, Dexter. Yn y blwyddyn 383. Even better than a man riding a sheep riding a dragon. Dynnu yma o hyd, dynnu yma o hyd, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, dynnu yma o hyd. Weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, dynnu yma o hyd. It's not the national anthem, Ravage. It will be copyrighted. I don't care if they demonetize the video of this. I'm not going to make any money off this. I'm doing it because I like it. But it's an old Welsh rebellion song, essentially. It's Dynnu yma o hyd stands for We Are Still Here. O hyd, weitha pawb ac phopeth, despite everyone and everything. Despite everyone and everything. Despite everyone and everything, we're still here. O hyd, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth, weitha pawb ac phopeth rhai yma o hyd. Rebellion against the English? Yes, it was. It was rebellion against the English at the time. Merched o Awr. So what are your thoughts on Plaid Cymru? I haven't really looked into their agenda. Like I said, I don't tend to look into the agenda of politicians in general. So I don't know. There's an increasing support for Welsh independence. I wouldn't say that it's a real threat at this point to the UK system, but there is increasing support for it. So. Personally, I'm of the opinion that I'm not sure Welsh independence is the right thing for Wales. And that comes from a purely pragmatic standpoint of it would be hypocritical of me to suggest that I believe that the UK is stronger within the EU as a country, financially speaking, economically speaking, and then to support the the separation of Wales from the UK. I believe it is a hardship that we would place on Wales that is unnecessary. So the song is kind of like the French national anthem, Born in Rebellion, Les Marseillais, Marseillais? I'm not sure, maybe. From a pure policy perspective, Welsh independence is even more of a joke than Scottish. Is it really? I haven't looked at the policy or what it pertains. I just think on a surface level that it's not in the interest of the Welsh people to strive for independence. And I believe a lot of it is driven on an emotional decision, much like a lot of Brexit was fought on. It's not fought on the merits of intellectual formed argument, it's formed off...
Just say, play more songs by this artist.
Alexa, stop. I don't believe it is formed on an intellectual basis. I think it's formed on an emotional basis of wanting to pull on the heartstrings of Welsh people that feel downtrodden or mistreated by English government, and trying to play into that in order to get Welsh politicians more power, essentially. I don't think it would benefit us. I think we would be unduly under hardship because of the loss of the support of the wider UK. It would be Brexit again, but 10 times worse. Well, exactly, and I didn't support Brexit, so I can't, you guys know me, I'm a Welsh person. I'm Welsh, I'm half English, but I am Welsh. I consider myself to be Welsh through and through, 100%, and I love my country and I'm incredibly patriotic. However, I'm a pragmatic individual, and I do not believe that there is benefit in Wales becoming independent. This is not based on an informed argument. I haven't looked into the merits of either. So take my stance with a large grain of salt, but based on what I can see from a very high level, I just do not feel there is a benefit to it. And I'm not going to be swayed by an emotional decision on it. But that's just me. So yeah. There wouldn't be a benefit, Ravage. I fail to see how it would benefit the people. That's my main interest. If I actually believed it would benefit the people, outside of some woolly notion of we'd be able to set our own legislation and write our own laws and write our own and govern our own people, which is incredibly vague, right? Oh, we won't be under the heel of Westminster anymore. What does that even mean? What does that actually mean in real practical terms? If that is the argument, and I don't know if that is the argument, but I can imagine that's the stance that a lot of politicians will take, right? They're trying to drive that emotional decision because they know that humans are driven by emotion and not intellectual argument. So it's like, you can say all of these things that are like, yeah, fuck the English, right? That's what they're trying to get a rise out of. right? They're trying to alienate English government, hoping that deep-seated Welsh hatred will prevail and get the end goal that these Welsh politicians are after. Scotland at least has some vague excuse, although a terrible one that falls apart under the slightest scrutiny, but Wales would have no workable economic model. I don't think we would. But I haven't done the research into it. I don't know what Wales can do to sustain its own economic viability. I don't know. Do we have anything to export? Not sure. Sheep's wool? Wood? Wind power? I don't even fucking know. So I don't know. And I understand from the perspective of like Scottish government, Irish government, for example, wanting their independence because they wanted to be in the EU. They wanted to remain there. Welsh voted leave, as much as that pisses me off as an individual, because I thought it was a really stupid decision to make. The majority of Wales wanted to leave Brexit. They were in favour of Brexit. And I'm like, I think that was stupid, but they can't use that as an argument to go independent now. So it's Scotland wanted to stay in the EU. Northern Ireland wanted to stay in the EU. So they have a reason to leave the UK so they can rejoin the EU if they wanted to, if they could, if they had that as an opportunity. Sheep riding, we can do that in or outside of the UK, and that's fine. Let's ask Carth. Wait, wrong whale. Indeed, very wrong whale. It's kind of interesting without Scottish independence because it has a weird symbiotic relationship with the Tories. Does it? Again, my knowledge of politics is slim to none. And I know I should take an active interest in it. I should take an active interest in it. Because how else are we going to formulate change unless people actually fight for it? I understand that concept. But I feel like, are there actually any politicians that are not privileged, silver spoon in mouth people that come from middle to upper class? Is there actually anybody that's an MP that actually dragged them up from the streets, like an actual representative of the people? I can't help but feel Angela Rayner grew up in poverty, and who's Angela Rayner? I'm genuinely curious. I don't mean to come off as if I'm being confrontational. I'm not. She left school at 15 pregnant. Good for her. Well, not good for her, obviously. I'm not trying to condone that, but the fact that she's able to fight through adversity. Labour Party deputy. Okay, cool, good. I'm glad somebody did. So, but again, I'm pretty certain she's a minority, right? When it comes to MP representatives. Am I right? I don't know, I'm assuming. You really enjoyed that song? Thank you. Been living in Wales for 24 years and hadn't once thought to look up Welsh folk songs. Umar Taylor, you've been living in Wales for 24 years. Lovely. So where are you from then? Yeah, so Amar Ohid is fantastic. Calon Lan, lovely, lovely song. Sosban Fawr, or Sosban Fach, another one, lovely. Eventually become a social worker, worked up to a trade unions, and eventually then decided to become an MP to improve things. Well, good for her. Good for her. Her I could probably believe actually cares. It doesn't mean I necessarily agree with her opinions, but at least I'll believe that she has some form of altruistic desire. They are the minority, but not as much as a minority as you'd think. Okay, fair. Yeah, I guess we're just stuck with all, so the Eton boys that actually make it to be PM. All them. I don't know. Like, far be it from me to suggest that politicians get paid too much. I'm not suggesting that at all. But I'm just suggesting that perhaps they're a little bit too driven by that, rather than driven by the desire to actually make some positive change. And I don't think that anybody that is actually going to make positive change is ever going to get into the House. So, John Major grew up on a council estate, never even went to university, and he was PM at one point, right? John Major? Grey hair? Big glasses? Not sure. Alexa, play Cal Online.
Here's Carol Lamb by the Chalky Male Voice Choir on Amazon Music.
Chalky. Treorchy. Bywyd moethus air y byd, neu berlau man, gofyn wydd am galon hapus, galon honest, galon lan. A classic Welsh song. Pure heart. 30 minutes to get my 10 banners. Thank you so much, Night Fox. We'll probably wrap this up in 10 minutes or so, but I've had a wonderful time here just chatting with you guys. I appreciate you all turning up just to have a bit of a chinwag with your boy Scribble. It's a real shame we couldn't sit outside with a lovely view. Most politicians aren't insanely rich, even if they are from a working class background. If they aren't from a working class background. I'm not suggesting that they're insanely rich, not at all. But they're certainly better off than the average living man. And they're probably on six-figure salaries, and they'll be able to expense a lot of their costs as well, right? So they live a lot easier than many people. Not that there's a problem with that, but when it comes to deciding, making decisions about things that are going to affect the working man, right? I feel like they're out of touch of what it's like to actually be the working man. Born in Malaysia, really? That's a long way away, Umar. But moved here to be close to the father's side of the family in Newport. Half Welsh, but grew up here, so consider yourself to be Welsh. Amazing, Newport. So you don't live too far away from my home. I live in Cardiff, so we're only, 15 minutes away. Amazing. From Malaysia, though. That's incredible. Cool, man. That's a long way. Once you factor in the abuse they get and how many hours they have to work, they aren't actually paid that much. They definitely do get abuse. I'm not going to deny that at all. They get a lot of abuse, and I'm sure there is a lot of stress involved. And, I think people should be, adequately compensated for the work that they actually put in. I just wish, maybe I feel like it's just the decisions that they make are not 100% ethical or honourable. Not sure which angle I feel. Not sure what angle I feel. But again, I've already explained to you, Ravage, that my take on this comes from one of complete bias. I'm aware it's bias because I don't trust them. And I'm not sure what I could experience that would make me trust them. So, because I just think they're all a bunch of lying bastards. Can't trust them as far as I could throw them. And I can't throw people very far. Oh. New shave, looking good. Thank you, Duffy. And yes, new shave. I shaved my head yesterday. Shaved off the beard and the mustache, which I'm definitely growing back because my face feels lonely. But I appreciate you think it's a good look. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Is this something you could see that would change your mind? Probably. What that is, I don't know. What that is, I don't know what that would be, Ravage. I would have to live it. I would have to see it in person. I'd have to experience what politicians go through as part of the inner circle of it. Because having worked with a former politician, you learn not the duplicity, but the half-truths and the very deliberate messaging that gets used within political language that is used very particularly in order to convince. It's not about what you're doing, it's about what you're trying to convey. what audience it's going to, and the goal that you're trying to achieve by saying it. And these things get wordsmithed very, very particularly to fit certain audiences, right? And knowing what the actual underlying agenda is, why people say the things they do, because it's never what it appears to be. It never is. When it comes to UK politics, because he used to work as an MP, he used to do script writing for people in Parliament, and he was my boss for a long time. So I got a lot of insider information about why people say things, why people do certain things, and they say certain things, and it's never transparent. Focuses more on what's actually happening. Yeah, sure. No, I get where you're coming from, Ravage, but my problem is not with the Financial Times. My problem is with politicians. You look 16 again. Oh my God. If I was bald at 16, Jesus Christ. Fortunately, I had a lot of hair back then. Well, yeah. Maybe it does give me a younger look. Maybe that's why Mrs. Scribble likes it so much. But we'll show you the parts of politics that are actually worth engaging with. Oh, sure. Yeah, maybe there's parts of politics that I'd be fine with. Just the politicians in the UK government I don't like. Well, I say the UK government, I don't actually think that the American government is any better. I just think the American government is a little bit more overtly crazy than the stiff upper lip British government. The bits you describe are only a very small part. Also, it'll be useful for insurance stuff. Everything is useful in insurance. Smudge would be a good politician. Well, he would make policies based entirely on the amount of dreamies he gets. But at least he'd be transparent about it. He'd be like, guys, I'm going to address a real crisis in the UK at the moment. There is a distinct lack of dreamies in my feeding schedule, and I think this is a travesty that we, as a nation, can overcome. Therefore, I vote that we remove all taxation on dreamies and cat-related snacks. Provide tax cuts to the poor, impoverished cat treat-making companies so that they can flourish and we can get fat. That would be his argument. And people are like, that cat just wants to chow down. I'm for it. There's your lobbying, dreamies. Indeed. Yeah. That's why I like my work. As a risk manager, my job is all about problem solving, right? Thinking of current problems, potential problems, past problems, and thinking about the solution that would help, right? So when I do something, when I try and push change, it's because it genuinely is going to help, or I feel it's genuinely going to help. I feel like I'm actually trying to make a change, and there's a big thing in the UK at the minute around consumer duty, which is about operating in the best interests of the consumer, right? Making sure that people who buy insurance policies are not being sold a policy that's too expensive or given an inappropriate means of cancelling the policy or being auto-renewed or having their price the price of their policy being dictated by if they're a new customer or a returning customer or anything like this, right? It's about giving good value to consumers, which is a noble and ethical thing to do, right? So when I have to think about the risks of us falling foul of that, I'm doing that in the interest of making sure that we don't screw over customers. So it feels like I'm actually doing something deliberate, something that is beneficial, something that actually helps. I'm not doing it to keep myself in a job. I'm not doing it under the pretense of, I'm doing this for consumer duty, but really what I'm doing is, building out a role for myself as an SME of this area in order to give myself a promotion, in order to, there's none of that. What I do is I try to fix problems. And I feel like that's a genuine thing to be doing. And I don't feel like that's what politicians do for the most part. And if they do it, I feel like it's still in their own self-interest. What you're describing is policy-making process? Yeah. I mean, I've written a bunch of policies in work. They do, just not when they're on the news. Fair enough. All right. This has been real, guys, but it's getting late, and I need to get in some attacks for GAC, just to earn rewards at the very least. So this has been really cool, guys. I appreciate this is not the normal content that we do. And Ravage, I love you, man. But I didn't realize this was going to be a politics stream. Apparently it was. The problem with politics in the UK is that the agenda is to get re-elected and then picking the policies that get you there rather than picking the right policies to help the people that support you. Pretty much, Ray. I think that's kind of where I'm at. I find it interesting that you say you hate politics, then describe loving the air. So yeah, I get it. I get the dichotomy there, Ravage. I think the argument that I'm really trying to make is that I don't like politicians. I don't like politicians. And I don't like politics in the sense of the global scale of politics, economic policy, government policy, that sort of thing. That's not where I focus my, when people say, do you like politics? They're really asking, what party do you support? What agenda do you support? And that part, I don't care. I don't care because I don't trust any of it. And I don't think any of it is in our interest. Genuinely, I don't. I don't think anybody is trying to drive the public interest. I think they're trying to drive their own interest. So writing policy for things that I care about and I know about, in my case, insurance sector, right? That I know I have 100% control over, and I know that I'm doing the right thing. At least I feel like I know that I'm doing the right thing, right? I'm certainly not doing it for my own well-being. I don't even drive. So, but yeah. Either way, guys, I'm going to log off. I'm going to go join Mrs. Scribble outside on the front deck, and we're going to light up that fire. We're going to have a couple of drinks, and we're going to enjoy our holiday. I will still be on my Discord. Please do join my Discord. Like this stream for whatever reason. I don't know. Just click that thumbs up, guys. Do your boy Scribble a favor. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do so. I love you all, guys. No, you didn't drag down the turn at all, Ravage. I always find these conversations interesting. I really do. Like I said, I'm not educationally intelligent. I never have been. I'm not stupid, but I'm not book smart. I never have been, and I never will be. So I find these sort of conversations can be intimidating. And I don't like to alienate people, so, I don't want to cause a fuss, which is why I usually have a no politics talking rule in place. But hey, guys, I love you all. It's been great fun. Hopefully I'll see you on a stream sometime soon, yeah? Good night, everybody. How the hell do I turn this thing off?